Hello, hello, beautiful people. Mi gente bella. Welcome to another edition of Santana Says, where we talk about everything from roadblocks to relationships, everything in between, and the overall journey of life. I am excited. Y'all like that, though? I be singing. Y'all heard it? And it was on point today. Okay. So, if you can already notice, for those who are listening or might be watching, but my babies, yeah, he can insert sounds here. Hey, my babies are back, y'all. It is Bring Your Daughters to Work Day Part 2, but it's been some years, so it's kind of crazy. It's like 2.0. All right. So I am super, super excited. I'm always excited to have guests on the show, but these ones are related to me. Well, I made them. Love the babies. So no, I am super, super excited. And this is like a bonus Women's Month edition episode, okay? So like we are in April now, y'all. So shout out to all the things. So it is Autism Awareness Month. It is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And I know that we have a lot of days of action that take place, but we just wrapped up Women's History Month. And I love Women's History Month. Yay. Yes. I always love any opportunity to celebrate women, uplift women, encourage women. I got to be on 2 panels. Hello. They were fun. One was for the Women of Color Caucus. Shout out to them. Shout out to Mary and Jasmine. Love y'all down. Rise and Lead. Hello, our program. Teresa Stafford. We love them. And so, yeah, absolutely love her and everybody that was in that program. But those lovely women invited me out to a panel. And then Lincoln West, Miss Morales, and Miss Cruz invited me out to this beautiful panel. So it was really, really fun. And speaking of panels, I feel like I'm on a panel now, with some, not only beautiful women, young ladies, but also I had said that I wanted to also, have more conversations with youth, as if that's not my whole, jam. The career is with that. But these lovely ladies, I definitely have some very interesting conversations with them on the daily. So I'm excited for y'all to indulge in that. So if you could, for those who do know y'all, or for those who maybe are going to be learning about you all today, could you one at a time tell us who you are, a little bit about you, and, a little bit about your story?
First. Okay, so my name is Imena, and something about me is that I just recently started track, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, she got track practice later. Let's do it, Bookie Love.
My name is Edis, and one thing about me is that I really like reading, and I won a ticket to a captain's game
Yeah, no, that's right.
Like a reading log at our school, a reading program.
Beautiful.
My name is Ilana. I recently got into reading, and my favorite series right now is Percy Jackson. I'm excited to read the rest of the series. And let's see, I recently went to a youth retreat.
Yay! Oh, we love that.
I have been reading lately.
Okay, come on. Get into the reading. Yeah, come on, y'all.
A 162 book.
Oh, 62-page book? Wow. Oh, yeah, and also ages real quick. So, Imena, how old are you?
I just turned 9.
Yay!
I just turned 11.
And Ilana?
And I am 12 and a half going on 13.
Yeah, or 30, whichever one you're counting. Because, yes, the babies are wise out here, okay? But yes, thank y'all so very much. And so I know that you also hail from a beautiful private school, and here technically we're coming to you all from Cleveland, Ohio, but of course we also live in a suburb of Cleveland known as Euclid, Ohio. And so the babies did transition from a charter school to, at the time, you guys were at Gala, yeah, right? When we last recorded. So they were at a charter school, and now they're at a private school. Yes. So which one, y'all? Like, what would you say, has your experience been with the shift?
I love the shift. I feel like private schools probably have more funding, and sometimes I don't, especially on snow days when we are our own district, but the fact that we are makes it us unique as a school, and then we're able to do more things. There's swimmer clubs as a school. The last school wasn't even really a real school. They borrowed the building. So, it was really crazy. But I like private schools because we have more clubs, more opportunities to do things. And, I feel like private schools also just give you, that little gateway to other stuff.
Okay, very good.
I really like the private school better because also today was a really good example of that because we had our Holy Thursday retreat where we went around different classrooms and did different activities, and I feel like the kids are a little bit better from the shifted schools, but they're kind of the same. And I also do like the opportunities because like the spelling bee, the reading programs, the activities, and like all it's just like the stuff that we get to do in general in the school is like really good for us in our community.
Love that.
Same. Today we also like. I don't think we did this at our old school, but we have buddies now. So like when we have a buddy when we're doing a like activity, we get to do it with them. We didn't do that at our old school. That's a very good activity that we get to do with people. And also like the transition was actually great. I made a lot of more friends that want to be my friend, and I made friends that I wanted to be friends with. So it was very nice, and I love my teacher. And now we've all been here for 2 years, but we're learning a little bit more about the school.
I love that. Okay.
I love
doing buddy activities, especially because Imena is my buddy because I'm in 7th grade and she's in 3rd grade, and that's how we got paired. And then also when we do buddy activities, I was able to like volunteer to do one. So I actually kind of like led it today, so it was really cool.
Yeah, but she wasn't.
I also like buddy activities because I kind of like working with little kids, and especially since like the buddy I have is like super chill, and I definitely do like working with the little kids. So
Me personally, I'm not ready because next year in 4th grade we're gonna have buddies, so I'm gonna figure it out on my own.
Okay, look at that. Also, let's shout out the fact that Imena is a lot more vocal than she was the first time she was on the show. Come on now, girl.
Crazy.
Look at that. Yes, she's a little shy thing. But see, she does speak, y'all. See what I'm saying? So, yes, but I love that. Thank you, ma'am. I'm glad that, you can show us blossom, you know what I'm saying? And show the beautiful people all of that. But speaking of that, now, mind you, your host is from public schools. So this is not a knock against that. The only thing is, I was hip to a program in Ohio that is the Choice Grant, essentially, I believe is the name of the program. And it just gives you the opportunity to go to public schools. And the suburb that we are in only has but so many public school options. So that was on me. Just because of the house I happen to select, it's in that area. So I definitely don't want to say any knock against that. I mean, as a result, I know you've gotten to see a little bit of both worlds. But I will say that even though I'm a public school grad in high school, I also got a chance when I was in all your ages to also go to private school. So I thought it was pretty cool that my babies got to experience it around the same time that I did. And so being able to see what that's like. But it's also the fact that there is a faith piece. So I think that's really cool is that now this is specifically a Catholic school, and I know that our faith is Christian, but not that that's like super starkly different. Really exactly. There's really a lot more similarities.
Thought that it was like way different than it really is though.
You're right.
I like how, the only big difference that I've learned about today, which is apparently how they believe that the Eucharist or communion is really God. Like when they're going up there to go get communion, Mr. Chris explained it to be when he goes up there, he really does believe that he is having the body of Christ and Jesus is right there with him.
Got you. Okay. So that might be one piece that might be different. You know what I mean? Essentially one of those. But I definitely, but agreed. Yeah, there's a lot more similarities than there are differences for sure. But it is cool to have that part. So as far as a moral background, do you all appreciate having that faith piece in there? Or how do you feel about that being part of your education?
I think that learning about Jesus is a vital piece of our lives in general, and not just at school. But I think that sometimes for other kids, they don't think it's very vital. But I definitely want to get into step into my faith more. So I think that it's a good addition to the school and things that we get to learn. So.
Yes.
Same as well. In our buddy activity today, we were looking at this story it was the story of Easter, and I thought it was very inspiring, but some people in my class, they get tired of it and they want to go back in their classroom and stuff, because throughout the day we were going back and forth and we were doing activities in other people's classrooms about the story of Easter, and it was actually very fun to do and also very inspiring to learn about, because when we did it, I actually, felt like I was hearing something really nice and stuff. Even though I've heard that story before, but when I heard it again, it made me be really inspired about really listening to it. But some people just don't really get it. But yeah, that's why another reason I really like this school.
I hear you.
I like the faith base of the school too, because I have a pretty religious teacher, and he loves talking about how like good God is, and how he's like super duper cool. And I love how he like tells us that around this time is when we really get to learn about stuff like that, like how like vital things in life really are, especially Jesus and God. So I liked how he is my teacher, because I'm able to learn like way more than I usually am. And he's a lot like my other youth pastors at our church. So I'm able to like still stay in that good headspace, because I love being at church. And like usually at school kind of knocks me off my balance, but being able to like still be there and be present in it, it really helps me. So I do like the faith base of it, and I get to like actually like think about God way more than I do, because getting out of church, I don't really think about him. But then if I'm like there every day and I'm in a Catholic school, I start to think about him more. So I like that.
Okay. Yeah, that aspect. And that's beautiful. That's a beautiful transition, because what I was, getting at, and of course we respect the fact that, all beliefs, we know that there may be some folks listening that, do ascribe to a certain faith, and maybe there are others that might not, or still on their way. We just so happen, to ascribe to ours and all of that. But yeah, of course we welcome all, all backgrounds. But I love that you mentioned that, because here's the thing. I'm sure there are a lot of influences, you know what I mean, at y'all ages. Oh, and to add, we said 9, 11, and 12, right? About to be 13. But we also are 3rd, 5th, and 7th grade. And so it's an interesting time, y'all, you know what I mean, to be in school and all of that. So I'm sure, as you all mentioned, you're not exempt from the negative influences. This is the age of social media. TikTok is reigning. You know what I mean? It's just all the things. So, do you feel like, what has been the protective factors in the midst of those influences?
I think the protective factors have definitely been like being able to go home and talk about it, because like not having that safe space is pretty difficult to like just hold all that stuff in. And especially for people who don't have that safe space at home, I feel like even if it's not at home, it should be somewhere else. Like maybe even if stuff goes on at school, you should still have friends that you're able to talk to, or maybe like teachers in school, like anywhere really. And I feel like if you don't have that safe space, you can't really deal with it the way you're supposed to.
I love that.
I like the idea of the protective factor because we get to come up and talk about our day, which I think is very nice, and like talk about what happened and if there's anything that we like didn't enjoy or like didn't like that happened at school. But others, I think they should talk to like the counselor that we have at our school or some teachers. A lot of people have like friends that they hang out with outside of school, and like they talk about their activities together. But today was an example of this, because when my friends got a little bit angry because of something that happened at lunchtime, and she like wouldn't talk to anybody, even her friends, like she wouldn't like say anything, and I just thought that it's better for them to let it out than keep it in, because when it's like kept in a little more, then it gets taken out on others. And she did like end up pushing another student and then like talking bad about them. But yeah, so I think it's good to have that protective factor.
Good. Yep. And have a place where you can release.
Yes.
Love that.
Same with her, because like sometimes when my friends get angry, I try to cheer them up. I learn a lot from you when you're talking to your clients and stuff. I try to talk to them, and like they understand and hear what I'm saying, but they don't really like use it enough and put in their brain a lot to understand not to like be mean to others and not to get out on them, because like what Edie said, if you take out something on others, I mean, it's good to let it out, just not in a negative way, but if you keep it inside, it could hold a grudge for a long time, and then when you do let it out, there'll be a lot of like badness that'll like come on other people.
Oh gosh, yes. We can all explode, you know what I mean? If we let too many things in. And so, but just so we're clear, y'all, I do not be having sessions in front of the babies. It's just that sometimes they come down the steps in the middle of things, so they might overhear. But I get it. Now, but that is the thing, though. I also feel like I've had this conversation with folks as a therapist and as a parent. Sometimes those things do bleed. I mean, it's kind of hard for me to like turn it off. So as y'all can tell with these articulate children that I have, that yes, our conversations are definitely like quite layered and all of those things. And so yes, they have picked up on quite a lot, but I love that, right? That you understand the value then of having, like different things that help you. different things that help you release. And that, okay, so I love that you appreciate that we have created a safe space at home and that we welcome conversations. But I also love that you pointed out that sometimes it's okay to have someone outside of home, right? Because sometimes you might want to be able to talk to them, safely and securely, and be able to, touch on topics that you might not touch on at home. And I also love that you are trying to be a role model, you know what I'm saying, for others and, keep that encouragement up, because if not, we let it all in, we can explode. And so I know that that is a very real issue for y'all because, we love to talk about mental health on this show, and how those things, so like, where do you feel like you're at in your journey with mental health, y'all?
I think I'm at like the kind of halfway point because there's definitely times where I'm like happy and cheerful, and there's times when we get into like in-depth conversations, and then it's like all come back to me and stuff like that.
Got you.
Like stuff that happens is not very like we don't like want it to happen, but like sometimes things have to happen. I just think it's really good to have those conversations sometimes. Also because today when she had pushed him, he was like, that really hurt me because she's never pushed me in my life. So like he was kind of like hurt about it, but I definitely think I'm at the halfway point. I'm trying to figure out where like I stand in like my mental health. So
Okay, let's go.
I'm also at the halfway point, but it's a different one where I know where I stand. And it's like the awkward moment. Like I said, I knew 7th grade was going to be an awkward year because it's the little halfway point from 6th grade to 8th grade. And it's like, okay, from 6th grade, I was like in middle school. 7th grade is like, okay, now I have to start thinking about high school. And then 8th grade, you really got to start thinking about it. So it's like the halfway point. So that's really like where I am right now. Because like how Jesus was in the Bible, how he was figuring out who he was around this time when he was 12. I am also figuring out who I am. So that like comes with a lot of mental struggles. And like the halfway point for me is like figuring out like my identity and like what I want to do as an older person. And like as I get older, I have to start like doing more things than I did when I was like maybe like 8 or 9.
Yeah, absolutely.
When they said they're at the halfway point, it made me think I was at the beginner's point because, like, they're older and they start to get to know more things and new things that I haven't learned yet. And it's like, so it was like, when you guys said you guys know where you stand and stuff like that, I'm kind of like Edie's, kind of a little bit wobbly about where I stand because I'm trying to also figure out who I am because I do a lot of different stuff and I'm trying to put my mind to one thing so I don't have to worry about a lot of stuff because even at this age, I'm not supposed to worry about a lot of stuff, but I do, so I'm going to, try to figure out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you fit.
Yeah.
I feel like, Imana, it's okay that you're at the beginning point because you're not that old yet, like not even in a rude way, that you are still pretty young. So I like that you're still at the beginning point, that you still want to know like more about it and more about mental health, even if you are struggling right now. And I just feel like, yeah, it's still pretty good that you don't really know yet because you're not supposed to know yet.
Oh, come on.
Do lots of other things when you grow up too. So.
Amen. And I agree. I was going to add that same thing, ma'am. First of all, I love you being honest enough to say that. But it was a trick question. I mean, hello, like we're all still figuring out our journey. Like the point is we're on it. And so like we're always going to be at different points. But I love your honesty about where you feel like you are. And yes, correct. At the end of the day, you're still kids. So like, but I'm sure that given the things that go on in our world, it's sometimes hard to still feel like a kid in our society because there are a lot of things that either force you to grow up or I just think it's exposure. I've talked about this behind y'all back that like, but I mean also with you, but that, that like I mentioned, there is social media, right? So y'all get exposed to a lot. And so sometimes I think that's a little thing hard to grapple with, you know what I mean? Like being exposed to too many things, but also wanting to learn. So from y'all perspective, do you feel like it's too much exposure for kids nowadays? Like some of these things are helpful to learn, or how do you kind of find the balance in that?
I would say that it is a bit of exposure because, like, when you're a kid, you think, like, oh, I don't have to worry about anything, everything's fine and stuff. But when you really start to understand true meaning, you realize that, like, because there's a lot of bad stuff happening in the world right now that some people want to stop. And some people force it to keep going because, they're just that kind of people. But me personally, I think it's a bit too much exposure because, when people think about stuff that isn't really that important, then they, go on all these, platforms and apps and stuff, and they see, what is really happening.
Okay. Got you.
I feel like there is a lot of exposure nowadays, especially with me since I'm a little older and I would see it a lot.
Yep.
There is a lot of exposure, especially when people say things that they do, and I'm like, okay, you've obviously heard something
Yeah.
and or seen it, and I feel like often even right now, the stuff that I even know, I don't feel like I should know, and the stuff that people know, I don't feel like they should know, but we do know it, so I do feel like that there's a lot of exposure, even without the stuff in the world, but in the things people do, because people often go online and also want to spread their business and want to vent online, but at the same time, things are meant to stay private, and you're not really meant to really on creative communities maybe Pinterest or Instagram or Facebook, whatever you want, whatever you use. I feel like those are still good outlets for creativity.
Yeah.
I just think that sometimes we overuse them or exert them in a way where we feel okay, I feel really, really comfortable here, so I'm going to put this out there and see how people feel about it, and then we get confused on how it gets negative remarks, yet not everybody has our same opinions. So I feel like there is a lot of overexposure in that with what people put out there, what people feel they're comfortable with when they shouldn't be, and how people want to use it nowadays.
I think there's a little too much exposure. Not that it's bad to keep your mouth closed, but for younger kids, I think it is because we learned about something today that a lot of kids had a different opinion on.
Yeah.
That also I did as well, and I think that it's good to give out information, but not as too much information to probably end up scaring kids or putting and maybe arguments cause from the thing that they put out there, and I think that it's just best to think before you act or put it on social media.
Ooh, yes, yes. Yeah, as soon as you put things out there, you're also now open to public scrutiny. So I definitely think you're opening yourself up to all the comments like you guys all mentioned. And I just think that's the thing that I have definitely told kids time and time again. I did not grow up in that era, y'all. We was outside. We were not necessarily online. You know what I mean? As much as y'all are. It's weird because to me, it's funny to me because there'll be kids even literally playing outside, recording it and putting it online. It's just weird. Why can't we just be playing? You know what I mean? Why can't certain things still be sacred? But I think you all brought up excellent points that because of that, how can we put the balance with that, and that, sometimes it can be a little bit too much. But go ahead, Lana. It came up another thought for you.
When you're saying that some things can't be sacred, I feel a lot of times people like to post positive things on the internet when really I feel they're just trying to get clout. When people often are I want this much stuff for the homeless people. I think that's great, dude, but I don't think that you should be filming that all the time. If you like doing that, then you should obviously make that your passion and maybe do something with that, not put it online.
Correct.
And have people just you get money from it and you not really donate it to anything. I like better creators that post in little bursts. When they do post, it's obviously about something really big, and they don't post all the time about actual trendy stuff. When they post, it's something really meaningful. Jorge Rivera, for instance, he made Epic the musical. When he posts, he doesn't barely post at all. He posts though about really meaningful stuff, helping programs in Puerto Rico and stuff like that, which I think is really, really nice because he's not one of those trend followers. He actually helps the community.
Cool.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I also think that it's good for you to just help them and not just put it on the internet, because then people will be oh, it's so nice, but then it's are you doing it for the subscribers or are you doing it for the people? Because then they're then at sometimes I see at the end of videos they say something to promote their channel, but it's if you're trying to help, just say this is what I'm gonna do, or about what we did at church. This is what I'm gonna do. We did it and we passed it out, but we didn't film it on YouTube or whatever
You can't really tell if people are being real anymore or not.
Yeah.
Yep. Also, I was gonna say that when they said that, it made me think of like, we help homeless people and we give them food and stuff, but we don't post it. Like, we made something called blessing bags at our church to hand out to people that are homeless, people that need help. And also, like, we posted it online, but it was to pursue people to do that. So, yeah.
Yeah. Help more people be part of it, right? But not about, yes, the act itself. I love that. And I love that you all appreciate that. Because, I mean, you are still living in the world of trends. And so, like, and sometimes it's easy to drink the Kool-Aid, y'all. We can't lie. You know what I mean? We be there. We like it. And, I mean, entertainment is such a real thing. I think it's very sad when we become victim to it though, right? And that becomes like our only focus, like where, you know, as Edie's mentioned, are we doing it for the subscribers or are we doing it for the real impact that we're trying to make? And so like, you know, where is it? But I'm sure you all like have your exposure to that. So I know it's good to know that you're trying to find the balance within that, but I'm sure sometimes it's hard not to fall victim to, you know, some of those things because that's the world and the era that you're living in now. However, did you have some on that? Okay. Because I was going to say, but also with that being said, y'all are also, we did just say that we wrapped up Women's History Month and you are very young ladies, you know what I'm saying, in today's society. So what do you feel like is your experience as a girl in today's world? How is that going for you?
I think it's like, because sometimes boys like don't know the way girls work. So they're like, because usually at school, they always make things weird, but then girls talk about stuff that they have to go through, and they're like, well, yeah, and this and that, and this and that.
Right.
But it's like, I actually enjoy being a girl, and I think there's cool opportunities where we get to show, like, other kids, like, younger girls that you can, like, actually do anything. Like, it's possible, and, like, things that we do now, like, also Kamala running for president. Like,
I mean, hey, yes, ma'am.
Like we can do we can do things. Like there is nothing impossible. Like it's
Yes,
all
ma'am.
there for you, and it's just good to have those opportunities. Also, when you're younger, to like see other people doing it and know that it's possible. So that's what I like about being a girl.
I
Okay.
also enjoy being a girl because, well, some things about being a girl is really great because, like, you know, some boys, they don't understand how girls work, and like, well, we share stuff about our life that we're going through, and they're like, well, I don't have to deal with that, but it's like we do, so it's kind of rude, is the way they say it. And stuff.
Yeah. Not being considerate of it. Got you. What you got, Lana?
I feel like growing up in today's world as a girl, it's definitely still hard with us. Like even after like so many movements in history, we still have criticism and like have to face through that stuff. I feel like it's still pretty hard, especially getting older when people have like more confidence to like actually say something about you instead of when you're younger and they're just trying to protect you. And then like in school, definitely you get to see like way more of like who actually likes to support girls and who actually doesn't really care about them and care about what they have to say. Like everybody dates in middle school for some reason, and I don't know why, but everybody, like, you can really see who would actually like care about their like girls, like their girlfriends, and like some people do, but some people really don't, and they just do it just to do it. And
Yeah.
even girls sometimes too, they date just because it's really cool when really we're not really supposed to be doing that right now, or even like doing other stuff that could be related to that. And I feel like definitely growing up in this world as a girl, you can like do way more stuff because of what we have access to, like social media and the influence of the people. Like if we can win over a couple people, we can win over maybe all of them, and that can work in negative and positive ways.
Yep.
So I feel like that it's cool that being able to have more access to things makes us be able to like actually show the world what we're like here for, and like Edie said with Kamala, people like that empower other girls to do things. So I personally like being a girl, and my experience has been ups and downs, but I wouldn't change it.
Let's go. I love that. And I love that you mentioned that, yes, anything, is possible. No, there's nothing that is impossible for girls. And I definitely love the confidence with which you say all that. And speaking of, y'all do a lot, you know what I mean, of different things. And I'm always asked about it. When I was on the panel, Rosa, Miss Cruz, was quick to be like, yeah, and tell them about your babies and all the stuff that they do and all these things. So, like, could you tell the beautiful people what have been some of the stuff that y'all do, but also what have you most enjoyed doing outside of school and all the stuff that y'all, are involved in?
I think basketball was a really cool
Hey.
outside of school thing, but inside of school, the spelling bee was like really.
Oh,
fun.
come on, champion.
And I also like, also that's another school program that we get to do, and
Yeah.
especially like reading, since I love reading and I love Harry Potter. I think it's good for me to like expand my learning possibilities. Because also my teacher had given me assignment passes because I had finished a test in 12 minutes and I got all the answers right. And I like to also help people with their work too, which I think is a good opportunity for me to like see how like teaching works and how it is. And yeah, I did really like basketball because that was a cool little experience for me and
Yeah.
getting to hang out with all the people.
Absolutely.
It was fun.
I love
I
that.
also enjoyed the spelling bee. It felt like a really good accomplishment, and also,
Another champion. Yes.
like, inside and outside of school, like I've been doing a lot of sports. One of the major ones was soccer. I did stop that for a little bit though. I've done a lot of sports, and it's been really good. Also, I did track because I thought I was really fast and stuff.
Yeah.
And I still think I am. I
Hey.
really think I'm fast. I want to try something new. And also, I have been wanting to get my body back up and running because I've seen them been going to their like practices, and it reminded me how like I haven't done this in a while. So, like things inside and outside of school is really nice because like per se, like on the weekends outside of school, we get to do like a lot more stuff because like programs and stuff like that, and even this podcast. So it's really nice.
Hey. Yes.
I love gymnastics. Gymnastics is a really big part of my life as well as dance. Like we were talking about Rosa Miss Cruz, she was our dance teacher. I
Yeah.
really like doing those opportunities like that. Like what was it that one time? It was the Guardians game, but it was like the first part of it, like the beginning.
The block party?
Yes, it was the block party at the Guardians game.
Yeah. I think it was Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yeah, Hispanic Heritage Month. It was Latino night, and we got to dance doing that. So I really like doing that, and I like meeting new people with my experiences.
Yep.
And doing gymnastics has also let me see new things in me, like how everybody like really wants me to keep doing that because I'm really good at it. And I do want to keep doing that, so I feel like that's a really cool thing. Like I've gotten so many new skills this year, being in the XL Gold and being done with the season has really let me think on it and like see that I really was super duper cool when I did this, and I should like pursue passions. And like if I like am able to do things with a burning passion like I can with gymnastics and other things like writing, even when I write little stories like for school, I have like really burning passions with those things. So I feel like it shows me that if I really put my heart into something, I can like really do it, especially when I front tuck in my back tuck.
There we go. Yes, right. Because nothing is impossible. Let's do it. Some practice. And shout out to all the black gymnasts killing it. Okay, women at that. So yeah, if y'all be seeing all the.
Simone Biles.
Yeah, we got Jordan Childs. We got like all the ones just killing it, tens. Like, so if y'all see all the reposts, y'all get it because yeah, gymnastics mommy over here. And it's not my only gymnast. You have also participated. My youngest did participate in gymnastics. She ain't necessarily want to go to the competition. She left that to them. She, on the other hand, though, did get second place in tennis. You know what I'm saying? Over the summer, you know what I mean? Was good. Wants to try volleyball as well. Like, girl, ain't no sport that you haven't been willing to try. So I love that. But Edie's also competed at the competitive level 2 years as well in a row. 2 different levels at that. You know what I'm saying? It was good. So it's just awesome that you all have been willing to do that. I do love that you like push yourself to new heights. But I know we've shared a lot of positives, but I know it's not always easy. I'm sure things are not always easy. And, I love that we have, though. We want you to walk away with some encouragement, you know what I mean, including from young people. But my second to last question is that, what has been the hardest thing that y'all have had to deal with and how'd you deal with it?
The the hardest thing is probably school. Like, even if it's really super duper cool, meeting new friends and even making new friends towards the end of the year, like right now I am, I feel like it's still such a hard thing, especially with what people say all the time. And like, it's hard not for it to get to you, especially when there's like those certain groups that you're obviously like, those people, obviously people look up to them and want to be like them when they get into our grade, and that's how people try to act. And I don't really think that's the way to act, but it's whatever the people want. But I feel like it's definitely hard with what they say, and when people often like just follow them, so they're like, yeah, do that, say that, because it's true when it isn't. So
Right.
it's hard to like just brush it off sometimes. It kind of sticks like sticky notes.
Yeah.
And like how we crumple up paper. And another thing was probably like when you do things good, but then you do well in this one thing, like you do well in something, but then when you actually like have to do something else, you don't do well in it, so it kind of like hurts you a little bit. Even your ego, we can talk about egos, but like it hurts your ego or your like self-esteem a little bit. Like when you do well in drawing maybe, and you can't really draw something that you wanted to, like it hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially when you haven't done that thing in a while and you still really love it. So yeah, that's kind of hard.
Got you. Totally.
I think during basketball it was a little hard for me because during like my first game I was very, very, very nervous, but I shook it off because people that I definitely like being around with were there for me and cheered me on, and I feel like I also was encouraging to myself when things got hard, so I not like the idea of it being hard, but I like the idea of encouraging myself and all my family and friends. And I think that staying connected with your family is like a very good thing to do. So you can have some supporters that not
Absolutely.
are just for sports and stuff, but are for your whole life.
Oh, I love that.
And with what they said about sports in school and stuff, I was gonna say sports because like I first started track. I did like that I was running very fast because that's what track is for, right? And then like when I started running, I was running really fast at the beginning, and I didn't like slow down at the beginning and then run fast because then like my belly started to hurt and I felt like lightheaded and stuff because I was running too fast. And I also was getting a little bit mad these past few weekends because my track meets have been canceled. But I'm really
I feel it.
excited for when another one comes up. And also, when I do track, it makes me feel like I have a new passion that I want to spread around. So
I love that.
I feel like that often, like, I like how a lot of people compare our lives to, like, a race. Like, when we do it in the Bible, it's called the Christian race. Or maybe for other people, it can be just the track meet or a race. Like, when we often start off really, really strong, and then those small little cramps in our sides hurt us and slow us down a little bit, and we get frustrated because they do. And we often feel like, well, I've done this before, so why can't I do it again? Maybe you didn't do it the same before. You were in a different place when you did it, so oftentimes in life it can like being in different places can make us like feel familiar, but then when it really hits us, we're like, oh, this is not what I thought it was. So yeah.
I wanted to add something to that. Might be off subject, but like when say that you were like doing something and you knew God was with you and He was giving you all the confidence and stuff, and then when it starts to go bad, like the devil is like someone bad is like, well, not bad, but like someone around you's doing better than you and you think like you're not doing good enough, you might get mad and frustrated because like you think you're not trying hard enough, but really that's just your mind and other people trying to get in your head and stuff.
Hello? And that is, did you have something? I was definitely going to say, agreed, though. And see, that is where I love seeing that effect. So like I said, I love, respecting different people in different walks of life, but I love where God has shown up for us. You know what I mean? And I love that we are able to say that because I think everybody needs something that grounds them, right? That helps them bring them back down to focus and can help keep them sustained in the midst of all these difficulties and stressors and all the things that go on in the world. So I love how that has shown up for y'all. And I love how y'all have grown. You know what I mean? We all have in our own faith journey as well. You know what I mean? And so and how much, and I love that you did name that because yes, no matter what, the seed of doubt, y'all, man, I'm sure it can show up a lot. But I love how y'all pointed out that for y'all, given that it was sports that a lot of, you all named, it's a lot of mind over matter. And so I feel like that has definitely been the biggest thing, is that it's not just your ability, right? Like physical ability, but it's also the way you show up. It's the self-talk that y'all have, and like, you know, how you're able to actually see something before you do it, and how you're able to visualize it, but also what messages do you receive either from others or that you give to yourselves in the midst of those things. So I definitely agree that those are important. So I'm glad you pointed that out. And so now what I'm also curious about is there anything on the horizon in the future for y'all? Like, what are some future goals right now? And then when I bring them back on, we'll see if they changed, y'all.
Like how you did that.
Oh, but yes.
How you like let everything into each other.
Oh, thanks. You know what I mean? I'll be trying, y'all. So, yes. Shout out to transitions, y'all. But yes.
I'm gonna go in order again.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have any ideas of things you want to do in the future, ma'am?
Yes. So I've been paying attention to you lately about like the jobs you do and stuff.
Yay.
But I also have a lot of passions I want to do, like a lot of jobs I want to do. It's too many. But I'm trying to pick one, you know?
Okay.
Even though that's very far away, but you gotta work on it sometime. So, but things I do want to work on is sometimes my temper, I can get overboard with it. Like sometimes at school, I am you know, doing something and I want to concentrate on it, and then somebody's being really loud and stuff. That kind of gets me mad. And also, did you say something about giving other people a like motivational speech or whatever you said?
Not yet, but you can.
Okay, well I'll wait then.
Okay.
But,
Yeah.
That's mainly one thing I want to do, and also I want to, as a goal in my life, I want to start reading more books because I have been on like phones and stuff and electronics too much. So I want to challenge my brain more and do more like activities outside and reading.
Okay. Let's go, girl.
I definitely want to teach others and like talk to others about like things that they may have going on. I want to be able to let
Love that.
not let others know, but like sort of help them with things that they need. And I want to also take time off of my electronics because I am on that a little bit more than I should. And I feel like I should focus on a bit more things in my life than like more important things than a phone or like a tablet or something like that. And yeah, I did also hope to get into a good like school if we ever move to a different one.
Yep. Okay. But the education is always going to be valuable to you.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I feel like what I want to do in the future is like the big picture in the future. I've always wanted to have my be an entrepreneur and do my own thing, and now I'm like I wasn't really ever like set on what I wanted to do. I was always just like I want to do everything. But going to the youth retreat that I talked about in the beginning, let me actually opened my eyes to be like what I really do want to be. Because when they were talking, you know, preachers, like if you have ever like been in the presence of a really good preacher and like ones that are kind of like comedians and you like they have their own profiles and you would know about them, you would know how much they can get to you and how much they would actually know that you don't about yourself. So like they were talking one day and then they were like, if anybody wants to be a preacher like I am being up on this stage right now and would ever want to speak at Love is Red even one day, and you should come up even if you don't know and your heart is racing though, you should come up. And my heart was racing and I was conflicted and I didn't know if I wanted to do that. And I feel like that was the devil conflicting me when I did do that. But then when I came up, I felt really relieved. I was like, this is something I want to do. So for the future, I do really want to be a preacher and I want to help people that way and maybe even speak at the conference, which is called Love is Red. And yeah, I want to be able to like be a youth thing. I want to be a youth outlet for people and have them like come to me with their problems and feel comfortable with me. And through that, I want to be an entrepreneur through my like own church maybe someday. And like when I do preach, I hope that like branches out into other things.
Oh, I love that. It's come on, motivation. Love it. And then that's funny. Speaking of motivating, encouraging others, providing all these great messages, Imena thought that I had already asked that question, but that is actually the final question, ma'am, is that if you had any encouraging messages that you wanted to share today, apart from everything y'all said, because y'all was dropping gems, but if there's anything else that you would like to leave everyone with, young people and, people beyond that, because I'm sure anybody at any age could gain something from what y'all have shared, what would that be?
My message would be to never stop being yourself, because once you do, you kind of lose sight of who you actually are, and you shouldn't be afraid of the life you live because you only live it once. And for maybe for the younger audiences, you shouldn't try to have other people dictate what you do, because it's not their life. And you probably heard that a lot, but I want you to hear it from me. And for the older audiences, that you may feel like you have lived everything you could, even if you are older and you feel like you have, maybe you haven't, and you have still things to experience, whether it's going skydiving or talking to that person, or maybe it's even just writing that one thing down that one day.
Okay.
Also, to say something one time, it was a couple of years ago, we went to this one program with our mom, and there was this one girl, she was speaking, and she said, never stop being yourself because everybody else is taken. And I thought that was a very inspiring thing to hear, because everybody else is taken, but it's good to try new things, but you still want to be yourself as you do it. And a message to people is, even if you're younger or older, never stop trying to do what you love, and even if you have a passion, you can still do other things that you might want to try, and never stop believing in yourself.
Oh, love that.
I would want to say to never forget who you are, because
Let's
we're
go.
all on a journey to figure out where we stand and where our identities are. But once you do, don't forget it. I think that's a very important thing to remember, and just stay true to yourself, and don't try to keep up with the trends, or be like different people. Just be your own self and do great things.
That part. Okay, so if y'all think that I am proud of my babies, yes, that's an understatement. They're amazing. You guys are amazing. I love. Oh, do you have something? Yes.
No, I have something for you. I want you to state. Yeah. I want you to state what you want to do in the future, like a small thing, and what your message is.
Okay, come on, put me on the spot. All right.
So have the tables have turned.
Yes, exactly. Well, I love that. All right. You know what I mean? Let me get in my guest seat. But yes, I would definitely say in the future, I would love to grow the Power to Be LLC. I know I mentioned it sometimes on the show, but if y'all didn't know, CEO over here, founder, there's a website, thepowertobeLLC.com. But I definitely would love to grow that, because it is that's my other baby that I have. I did envision it to be where I'm able to provide workshops to others and kind of to bring the podcast, but to the community type of thing. And so I would really love to eventually let that be my full-time job. To be honest, I just want to speak that into existence, that's going to, be the thing that pays the bills. But that really in the process, I can reach as many people as possible. So I'm very glad you asked. But also I would just say my message of encouragement is also to take time to celebrate yourself and all your wins, and don't count out any of your accomplishments, big or small. And so be willing to notice all of those things and be proud, including of the mistakes. We're all learning, we're all trying to figure things out. So we're allowed to get that wrong sometimes. And that's okay, and that's part of your growth. But that definitely you are, give yourself more credit. Sometimes, because I feel like that's also been something for me, not to always do that. And I love that, you even reminded me of that today. But definitely that you do that, and that you stay encouraged on this journey that we are all on.
And just because some people normalize something for themselves doesn't mean it's your normal.
Ooh, okay, come on, word. Let's go. Clock it, right? As y'all say. Yep. Yeah. We did it. Yes, as the young people would say. No, but yes, I love it. Oh, but no, thank you. And thank you, Lana, for the question. Let's go. But for real, again, I do think y'all did amazing. I love them, y'all. I hope you know what I'm saying, see why I love them as well. And yes, y'all do have a lot of internet aunties and nieces because people be out here, okay, commenting when I put stuff on my story and doing all that. Speaking of, if
Love
you
you
do,
guys.
yes, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Right. Hearts to all the people. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? What's up? All right, so if y'all can see us, y'all can see the hearts, exactly. But if y'all listening, hearts, love, all of that jazz. But speaking of, if y'all do want to keep up with the escapades, I'm pretty good about sharing all things related to the girls on my Instagram, which is Santana Says with 1 underscore. The podcast is mostly what I upload on my TikTok, but sometimes they make a cameo appearance as well on there. It's also Santana Says with an underscore. But if you want to keep up with us, of course, we are here on YouTube, you know what I mean? So keep up. There have been some, we haven't always been consistent with the shows, but y'all, there's still been some subscribers. So listen, shout out to y'all.
Also
Okay.
Spotify.
Yeah, but of course you can continue to listen to us on all your streaming platforms. So yes, we support. I mean, we love that you are continuing to
love
support.
Spotify.
Yes, we do, especially Spotify. But we love they're also on Apple. We're everywhere. So listen, y'all can continue to support. But if you have come to the end of this episode, we need y'all to know how much we appreciate you, okay? Because you could have been anywhere and you're here with us. And so we hope that you gained something from what y'all heard. If y'all do want to connect with the babies, hey, if you were moved, if you want them to come out to you or something, y'all want to connect or something you connected to, whatever y'all want. Don't worry, I'm here. Exactly. And look at that. They are really ready and willing. But I would love to, hey, bring that encouragement wherever you would like. So you can also reach out to Santana Says Podcast at gmail.com. You can follow me on any of those social media pages and just whatever you need to do. But please feel free to stay encouraged and reach out if you would like to or if there's anything that you resonated with. So thank you, beautiful ladies. Yes, for coming on. Absolutely. And yes, I hope, and thank y'all once again for tuning into us. And listen, another great episode. We will be coming to you soon and we'll definitely be having some episodes on Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So stay tuned. Thank you. Bye. Hearts again.